Hello, welcome back in. Welcome to Let's Talk Sports with Rick and Jack. Jack, how are you, brother?
Maintaining, at least trying to.
I'm sure our audience is doing great. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for always watching us and sharing our shows. And I had a couple of friends out in California that watched the shows back, and they were real happy that I talked nicely about the White Sox. I want to give kudos and props to my friend Jeff out in Chicago, who's, the White Sox, how many years have they been just hoping and praying, those fans, that the White Sox would do something, and they're having a great year. They're playing well at every position. Unfortunately, their second baseman got hurt. That's going to affect them a little bit. He's out for the year, but I just wanted to say hi to Jeff out in Chicago, all my friends out in Chicago, all you White Sox fans. Keep the faith, keep hope. Love to see the White Sox in the World Series. So hang in there. What do you think? White Sox going to do it?
Well, for me, I see it's a tough division. Well, just the AL in general. They still have to go through Tampa Bay, or they still have to go through Boston. And my surprise of the year is actually Oakland, the Oakland A's right now. Like, wow.
Yeah, they're hanging in there. They started so bad. What were they, like 0-9 or something like that? And they started the season terrible. And they really, then they had that big stretch where they played well. And they've been playing pretty much around 500 baseball. They're doing okay. But
no,
that West.
The A's are 42-27 right now.
No, that's a good. They're doing well. They made that good run. But you're right. The American League is loaded. I mean, Tampa Bay looks so good. They look like the best team in the American League. Now they lost Glasgow to arm injury, and their big starter, and that brings up another controversy. He claims that he got hurt because they're slamming down on him, Major League Baseball, that you can't put any type of substance on the ball. He literally came out and said the reason he got hurt is because of this situation, and I wanted to get your opinion on that. What's going on with all this putting substance on the ball, and it's gone on forever, and what's your opinion on it?
My opinion on that, as far as I think they should adopt the NFL rule when it comes to the ball. There's a certain PSI that the balls have to be within. If they can do, as far as what can they do to make the surface better for the pitchers? Yeah. And those balls prior to the game are inspected by the umps to make sure that there's no foreign substance, and the pitcher that day, he's gonna say what if he likes it or not, or whatever the preference is. But it has, at the end of the day, like, you have a pitcher like DeGrom that's killing it. What's his excuse to have such a low ERA right now, to be breaking records, and then for him, saying that basically not having that foreign substance, caused his injury.
Yeah, I mean, there's foreign substance and there's foreign substance, and what I mean by that,
the tar.
If you're putting pine tar on the ball and really blemishing it, I think it's one thing. I think if you have a certain ritual that you've used, I don't know, maybe you chew bubble gum and some of that spit, I don't know what they do. But I don't think it's dramatic enough to say, for Major League Baseball, to clamp down on those guys and say, now you got to go cold turkey. Of course, the balls are all, roughed up a little bit, and take the glossiness off of them before the game starts. That process happens in every game. But there's still a slickness about the ball. And you have to get your grip. Hey, grip is about not hitting a guy in the head. Grip is about control. So I believe there should be some type of allowance for players, for pitchers, which they've done, to be able to grip the ball better. Mm-hmm. And they're not allowing that. And this guy, Glasgow, contends that he tore a muscle in his arm because he had to go cold turkey. He didn't put anything. And he clearly said, yes, I've put a substance on the ball. Yes, I've been using something, but it's nothing so dramatic it helps my grip. So now you take the ability to grip the ball away from the pitcher. I'm actually on the side of the pitcher because of the fact that I'm not talking about getting flagrant about it. Like you said, deflating football is so flagrant that it's noticeable. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about that you have to put something, every pitcher puts something on the ball, and they don't throw cold turkey on those balls that are given to them because of grip. Now they changed their grip. This kid said his velocity went down and his spin rate on the ball went down. once he was not allowed to put anything on the ball. You got to give the pitcher some advantage. I don't mean a crazy advantage, because pitchers have been dominating this year. But home runs, or the ball's going out of the park. So what? We're going to get more home runs and more 10-9 ball games. How about the old game of 1-0, where old-fashioned baseball is great, a pitcher's duel? So it's a weird subject, but I'm for the pitchers myself.
Well, Major League Baseball, they want people in the stands. They want those sold out on games, or more viewers, because they want the game to be entertaining. Home runs entertain. Pitchers, a good pitching duel. The only people that like that are pitchers and diehard fans that know the game.
Baseball purist is what I call it. And
yeah,
that is what I am. I grew up with baseball where the old-fashioned way was the right way, not the way now. Nobody bunts. Nobody steals bases anymore. It used to be, hey, get on base, bunt the guy over.
Sack fly. No.
Knock him in.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Bunt him over. It doesn't happen. Bunting for hits, it doesn't happen. The baseball is about banging as hard as you can, and if there's a great pitcher, you're going to have to say, oh, well, I'll get it tomorrow. I don't like baseball in its current state. I like the old way. It's just like extra innings. You put a guy on second base. Come on, man. So you go 20 innings. That's life. But the game of baseball, and again, they're tarnishing it further by not allowing pitchers to get some type of grip. And then they come out with, you're going to be suspended for 10 days with pay. Okay, so how does it really affect the pitcher? He misses 2 starts. That's it. Maybe 1 start, because he gets caught, and then it's.
But it hurts. It hurts the team, because
it hurts the fans too.
So the thing is, what's always going to change things is when it comes to money. So when you have these, $100 million pitchers, $200 million pitchers, when they start getting hurt, it becomes one of their assets.
Yeah.
It's
right off the bat, a young man gets hurt, and he said it's
their decision hurting their assets. If enough assets get hurt, the owners are going to sit down with the commissioner and say, hey, we need to figure this out, because I have $300 million tied up in surgery right now.
Yeah, it's.
So that's what it's gonna come down to. It's all follow the money. When it affects the bottom line, that's when the decision will be changed. And at the end of the day, hitters need to hit. No matter how fast the ball is coming, great hitters are gonna hit. Good pitchers are gonna try to outdo it.
No matter what. It cracks me up, because this thing really started with Josh Donaldson. I mean, he's had a great career. He called out Cole of the Yankees and said, hey, he's been doctoring the ball for years, and we can't hit the ball and all this stuff. And then, of course, they faced each other, and Josh, Donaldson got struck out like 3 times by him, and he's just kind of looking, smirking at him like, I don't need a grip. I don't need anything special on the ball. I'm still going to strike you out, bro. But the bottom line is, it's a burning subject, because I agree with the pitchers, and most people don't agree with me, but I go on the side of the pitchers that you need to have some type of grip on that ball. And if you have to use some type of something, again, let's not get dramatic. We're not putting pine tar or oil or doing things like that on it. It like I said, it may be a little bit of spit from the bubble gum you got. So what? So what? It's been happening forever.
So this is where
you think Nolan Ryan used any substances in
absolutely.
Hey.
But it comes down to baseball. Baseball needs to figure out what you can put, what substance are you going to allow, and that's the only substance you're going to allow that's going to give that grip. You regulate what can be used and what cannot be used. So if you're using anything else, then you should be punished without pay. Yeah, but you come up with
be punished with pay.
No, well, right now, because they don't have a solution, because it's one of those where everybody's crying, but no one's coming up with a solution. We're so focused on the problem instead of focusing on the solution to the problem.
The solution is let pitchers be pitchers as long as you're not flagrant.
Yeah, but then you regulate. Just like you said, you can't take any steroids, because then you'll get
that's another whole subject.
No, but you cannot take any steroids, but you can take supplements, right?
Yeah. As long as they don't have the banned substances in them.
Yeah, exactly. So then, but you give a ballpark of stuff. What you can do, you give a criteria. Of, we can use this, and this. You cannot use pine tar.
Yeah, and I agree with you.
Done.
And that's what I'm looking for, a little more of a definitive action. But we could talk about this all day, and we got a lot of show to do yet. But we want to know what you fans think. I mean, what's your opinion on this? This is a really a hot subject right now, in my opinion, because it's going to change baseball a bit the rest of this year. And we want to know your opinions. You know, get with us, tell us what you think, and we'll talk more about this. But let's talk a little more baseball. We got some division leaders that are doing very well. The Dodgers continue to try to play good ball, but they're getting a lot of injuries. I mean, you're talking about Bellinger is hurt again. Now it's a hamstring problem. Before it was a broken leg. He's out for the Dodgers. Muncy, their great first baseman, is hurt. So the Dodgers are struggling, but we continue to see great ball from the Giants. What's going on there? What Kool-Aid are they drinking? They didn't improve their team that much.
Sometimes you have that one team that that's doing it right. They're beating the teams that they're supposed to. Do they struggle right early in the season with great teams, such as when they play the Dodgers and stuff? You'll see that, they have to make some adjustments themselves. But they're winning games that they're supposed to win, and you can't take anything away from them. But your Dodgers also are making up ground despite all the injuries and stuff. Right now the Dodgers are they're 7-3 in the last 10 games. So
they've been playing good ball.
Whereas you have the Padres. You should thank my New York Mets to help you out, because they that was actually a good series.
Playing great ball. They got it together, and it's everybody was criticizing Lindor early in the season, wasn't hitting the ball. What a terrible trade. What are they saying now about him and the Mets? I mean, that guy's a quality ball player. And Lindor's doing a great job for the Mets, and he's a great leader.
But you do realize that they did replace the hitting coach, right?
Oh, I do realize that it was a big controversy.
And it obviously right now we see it made a difference. It wasn't necessarily the most popular move to make, but it was a move that needed to make. It gave us some type of shakeup.
Pete Alonso was very upset. Their best hitter.
Absolutely, but sometimes because you have a relationship, and that person that you have that relationship with is no longer there. You didn't necessarily like the move, but guess what? Sometimes your personal preference should be, does this make the team better? If it doesn't make the team better, then guess what? Your personal preference should be what's best for the team.
Yeah. Quietly, very quietly, Milwaukee is playing great ball.
Quietly,
they're not making a lot of noise. They're not popping off. There's not a lot of noise coming out of there. But quietly, Milwaukee's playing great ball. And, of course, Chicago and Milwaukee are right there and tied in first.
They're tied.
And they're both playing great ball. The Cubs are, I'm really surprised. The Cubs are playing really good baseball.
Like the NL East. For some reason, we can't get over the 40-win mark, and it's due to the beginning of the season where we lost a couple games because we were a couple games were postponed, so we're still trying to make that up over the season. But all the leaders on the AL side, they're all above 40 wins, and here, if it wasn't for our NL West, with San Francisco and the Dodgers, we wouldn't have 40-win teams on the NL.
Tampa Bay, Boston playing well in the East.
Yes.
Oakland's playing well, as you said. We talked about that. Then the Chicago White Sox. Again, Jeff, I see you out there, brother. Go White Sox.
White Sox, and even Cleveland. Surprisingly, Cleveland in the number 2 spot.
Cleveland's a consistent team. Well managed.
But do they have what it takes? And it's crazy. Like we're talking about the White Sox. The last time we talked about the White Sox when Ozzie Guillen was the manager over there. So it's been a while.
Ozzie, man.
It's been a while since they were in a sense relevant. So it's cool. Yeah. It's good for Chicago.
Baseball's heating up. It's fun, and the heat of summer, things change, man. People get tired. You play a lot of long games. You're traveling. Baseball's a tough sport in the summer. As we know, in the heat of summer, there's a lot of teams that fade. And it's going to be interesting over the next month to see who's going to get better, who's going to fall a little bit. And in closing with baseball, we'll talk more about it because we're really getting into the heat of the season. We'll talk more about it in the coming weeks. But to finish with baseball, what's going on with the Yankees?
The Yankees are the Yankees where on paper, beginning of the season, before the season, they look like they should be a formidable team.
And they started that way.
But for some reason, like they need that. I think they need a little shake up themselves, like the Mets did, to get over that hump. Or basically, I don't know. They're still on the nostalgia of what they were, rather than this is who you are. Do better.
Yeah, they keep disappointing, and they keep having pitching problems. Guys getting hurt a lot. The one thing in Major League Baseball that I've noticed every single night, I look at the baseball wire and I look at injuries. And injuries are 5 to 10 injuries every single day. People going on the injured list, and I don't understand what's going on with Major League Baseball with all the injuries. Just take a moment and look at it and what's going on day to day. There's a lot of injuries in baseball that are affecting what's going on.
So when it comes to that, I think it's over the last year, because most of our sports had to be modified in a sense of time. So players were not getting the same amount of time off, and you're gonna see across all the sports, there's a lot of soft tissue injuries. And that has a lot to do with the lack of enough time off in between. We might say, these guys are getting paid millions to play the sport, but at the end of the day, it's their bodies that's being able to help them make these millions, and their bodies get beat up. We can say, I play tennis, but you don't play tennis like that. Or I play pickup basketball, and I play hard no, but you're not doing it every other night. You're not traveling city to city. So we see it in sports in general right now, a lot of soft tissue injury, and this is where you have your athletic directors on board, or that needs to figure out a way to keep your players healthy.
It's concerning, but anyways, as we say, we'll talk more baseball as we go. Let's move over to hockey. It's very interesting right now. It's the Golden Knights of Las Vegas really look unbeatable. Are they beatable? Are they going to sweep Montreal? Are they going to be in the finals against the Lightning? Probably the Lightning, right? They even that series up.
But let's see. I'd like to see what the difference.
Hello.
I'm sorry.
You got a caller coming in? Somebody want to be on the show? Hello, you got a question? Go ahead. They hung up.
My bad, guys. I apologize.
No apology needed. People are always calling this show.
Probably his probation officer.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I forgot. Maybe it was a probation officer. Haha.
I apologize.
We're not that funny. No, don't apologize. It's great. People calling us all the time.
So, for the Islanders to win, I have to see what they do at home.
Yeah, I don't think
I think they stole game one, but stealing game one, it kind of put Tampa Bay on we need to do better.
Oh, it woke them up. And it showed last night.
And definitely did last night.
They were a dominant team, the Lightning. And their goalie was dominant again. And he's a great goalie, best in the game. So, I know you're going to say Fleury's the best in the game, but I'll say Tampa Bay's best in the game.
Fleury, I want to say he's more entertaining to watch because the kind of saves that he has to make all the time.
Yeah, he's a showman.
Despite being so old,
36 is not old. Come on now.
In hockey, it is. In hockey, it is.
Well, not nowadays, I don't think.
So
you got old guys playing sport. Look at Chris Paul in basketball. We'll talk about NBA in our NBA show. But Chris Paul's 36. How's he doing? Good, right? Anyways, again, we'll talk NBA. I just think that to me it's pretty clear cut that the Golden Knights are going to be tough. Going to be tough to beat. Montreal has had a great run. They won all those playoff games in a row. Give them credit, but they just don't have enough manpower or finesse or the ability to lean on people the way the Golden Knights they skate well and they lean on you, man. They're bangers. The Golden Knights that's what I mean. They skate well. So the Golden Knights are bangers, man. They're going to hurt you. I'm telling you. You're sore the next day when you play the Golden Knights. I'm telling you, they will lean on you.
You definitely need to get
they will lean on you, man.
The ice bath. What people don't realize with the Canadians, but they basically they limped their way into the playoffs.
They were the last team into the playoffs. They got in the playoffs the last day of the season.
Yeah. So
and then they were down 3-1.
and came back
win three straight and then four straight.
But then that showed grit, that showed heart, for what they end up doing. So just because we limped into this situation doesn't mean we're not going to take advantage of our situation and try to make the best of it. And that's what they did. Except for this series, the problem with this, well, a lot of times people they always think about what have you done for me lately, and the fact that the Knights dominated game one. Okay. But remember that first period, the Canadians dominated. Maybe they make adjustments and come back and we see the real Canadians, and they haven't been playing bad all since they went on that 7-game winning streak. They actually look very like a contender. So we should
to beat the Jets the way they did.
And the Jets were supposed to be the better team.
Like it was a college hockey team they were playing.
Yeah,
four straight. They've played very well. The Golden Knights are at a different level, and I've heard many people say, well, the championship really was Colorado and Vegas. Those were the two best teams in hockey, period. And, I don't necessarily believe that. I believe Tampa Bay is a really fine team and has the ability to repeat. But in the end, I think it's going to be very tough to beat Vegas.
Like, for me, what the difference maker for the Knights were when they played Minnesota, because throughout the season Minnesota was that Achilles heel for them, and they despite not being able to close it out when they should have, but eventually they did. That's when the Knights gave me confidence to say, you know what, maybe they can do this. And then when they played the Avalanche, I was like, okay, maybe they can really do this.
Yeah.
And what they're playing right now, they're playing lights out, and I especially here in town, it's buzzing and everyone's happy.
The town is
go Knights, go
on
everywhere.
Fire with hockey. Town's loving it. It's been fantastic, and I know you're a big Golden Knights fan. And continued success, and I know you enjoy watching those games at the watch parties you have. And I haven't been invited in yet, but I'm not a big enough fan. The Knights fans will eat me up, so. Maybe one day you and your watch party will invite me to a Knights game.
Well, now that you're on the bandwagon, maybe we can make that happen.
I still think Tampa Bay's going to win.
There's a period of time where
Rick
wasn't even leaving the house. He was ordering his groceries online.
You're absolutely correct. They'd see me in the store, the Knights fans, and throw tomatoes and apples and oranges at me. Yeah, I've been attacked a little bit, but it's okay. I have fun. I'm a big boy. So I wear the big boy pants. Keep coming at me. I still think Tampa Bay is going to win it. But let's continue to have fun with that. I know the Vegas fan base is amazing. They really are amazing. They're great fans in here. And I kid a lot, but I'm all for the Knights, and I hope they win it. I don't think they will, but I hope they do. It's my job to analyze sports. So, anyways, let's talk a little bit about U.S. Open, big golf tournament coming up this weekend. They're going to be on Pete Mickelson's home turf down in Torrey Pines, San Diego. U.S. Open. What's going to happen? Everybody's betting on Pete. They say he's got second 6 times in the U.S. Open. Is he going to win it on his home turf?
For me, no, I don't think so. My top 3 does not include him.
Who are your top 3? Let me get this down.
Here we go. He's gonna put it out.
Let me get this down. I'm going to give you my top 3 for the U.S. Open.
I think Rahm, DeChambeau.
Is Rahm going to be able to play? Are they allowing him to play?
Yeah.
I know they said he was safe to come out of the protocol.
Yeah.
He's going to play?
Yes.
Okay. Rahm.
One of my
DeChambeau, your favorite player. Okay.
And then my dark horse is Xander. How do you say
Schauffele.
Schauffele.
I love Xander. I love that kid. He is a great golfer. He's from the San Diego area, by the way. So that's really a good choice. That's smart.
So those are my top 3. Is Koepka gonna be in there? Yes. Justin Thomas.
Koepka's my top choice. My second choice is Rory McIlroy.
Okay.
My third choice is Justin Thomas. That's my top 3.
And then
maybe turn in there Justin Rose.
So you don't think Phil Mickelson will?
I don't think Phil's going to make the cut. I think Phil was played great. won a big tournament. I think, what was it? What were the odds? 200 to 1?
Yeah, something like that.
What are the odds this time around? It's less than, what, 20 to 1?
I didn't
What is
even
it?
I didn't even look into it.
Well, I don't think he's going to win, no. I think he had a great tournament there, but I don't think he's going to win it. He hasn't been that consistent. He was in golf. If you're consistent one tournament, you made a lot of money. So you don't have to be consistent in that many tournaments in on professional golf. So, anyways, I like Koepka a lot in this one, and I like Rory McIlroy. I like Justin Thomas. We'll see what happens. It'll be fun. It's going to be competitive. The weather's going to be great, which is wonderful. Torrey Pines is a fortunate golf course for people to play. You'll get the great California crowd, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So, I'll be watching, but I'm going to put Koepka on top. You're going to put DeChambeau on top?
Maybe Rahm.
Rahm, great player, man. Spaniard, great player. That what happened to him was very unfortunate. I don't think he'll have the strength back. I don't know if he had COVID or not. If it was, they never tell you, and they're not supposed to tell you what the situation was with him. But he's out of isolation, and I didn't know he was playing. I thought it was going to be a few more.
I think one of those. It's one of those where
it's confirmed he's playing.
Last interview I checked.
Okay, I hadn't heard that, so I'm kind of surprised. But okay, well he'll be right there. But it's going to be a lot of fun, and I love the golf game. It's in these big tournaments, they get the fan base, and the announcers are so great in golf. I just love to watch golf. I mean, they're all good. ESPN, CBS, those are the best guys.
But for some reason, like, they're so low. But then you can hear the excitement in their voice at the same time.
Yeah,
and
it's great.
It's almost like you don't, like, you see a good hit or a good putter, you don't even want to yell yourself but they put you right in the moment and you feel like you're right there.
Golf, what a great game, man. I'm just not good at it, but I really like it. And there's so many golfers in the world, and it's such a fun game, and so entertaining for so many people, and it's their outlet. So I hope it's a great, close, competitive tournament that goes right down to the last hole, and enjoy watching it. Enjoy the Father's Day weekend. We always have that on Father's Day weekend. It seems to be a big golf tournament always, and so a lot of dads will be sitting on their couch with their sippy sip, and everybody's going to be waiting on them, and they'll be watching golf. So I know a lot of fathers that like to go out and play golf early in the morning, and then they get home and watch those, last half of the rounds, the last half of the holes. So they get, if you're watching golf and it's from California, it's going to be going till 6, 7 o'clock. So the Golf Channel is going to be a lot of people watching. So enjoy it. One more thing I wanted to talk about on the show that's kind of been bothering me. That I wanted to go through quickly before we wrap up today. We've covered a lot of great ground, a lot of great subjects. Thanks for viewing us. We really appreciate you. This whole situation with Bob Baffert and, Medina Spirit and the drugs, and Bob being suspended for 2 years in Kentucky, cannot race in Kentucky, Churchill Downs, for 2 years. It's a severe punishment. And, of course, the New York Racing Board has also come out and it's suspended Bob indefinitely. So Bob can't be racing horses in Kentucky and in New York. It's tough on Bob Baffert. He's had a storied career. Any of you that follow horse racing or don't follow it that much know that Bob Baffert is a premier trainer. But, he's suing, of course. He says it's not just, and he's suing both racing boards, Kentucky and New York. What's going on here? Do you think it's tarnishing the sport?
Yes. Basically, what they're trying to do is send a message to other trainers saying that, basically Bob Baffert is one of the biggest trainers in the sport and he's tarnished the sport. And obviously there is a problem with cheating in the sport. Guess what? We're going to hold you accountable. And it all comes down to the adults in the room holding people accountable, and the other adults in the room that are being held accountable don't want to be held accountable. Stop doing what you're doing. You knew what you're doing is wrong. And then basically, yay, you're being held accountable. Take your whooping and keep it pushing.
Yeah, it's a severe one for Bob, and I mean, he's had a great career. You're right. Just such a famous trainer, and so successful, and we don't know what goes on behind the scenes in the barns. I've been, as you know, close to the game. I've owned my own racehorses for many years, and I've seen a lot of things go on that I won't talk about. I will keep to myself. But it's a tough sport. It's a tough sport to win, and sometimes people do try to get the edge. But we just wish everybody well, and we, more than anything, we wish the sport well. It just has so many ups and downs in horse racing, and it's been tough, and it's tough to keep a fan base and keep that sport going. But it is a sport of kings, and we love horse racing. And thank you for your opinion. I appreciate that. What is your opinion on it? A lot of you that follow us do know of Bob Baffert and his trials and tribulations right now, and he's had a storied career and a lot of success. But let us know what you think. This show went very quickly today. A lot of good information covered. We could have another 30, 40, whatever minutes. We love to talk about games and sports. And please watch our NBA show. We give the NBA its own show because it takes a full 30 minutes to talk about it. But please continue to watch us, like us. If you could do us a favor, and please share the shows with your friends. Please do us that favor. We think that would be really nice of you to do. And continue to watch us on YouTube and Roku and Apple TV. We thank you for your viewership. We thank you for your friendship. And please continue to watch us. And we would ask to please share us with your friends. Thank you again today for your very knowledgeable input. And we thank you for being on the show always. And you want to finish with anything today? You got anything specific you want to say before we end?
Just, hey, accountability.
Accountability, Bob Baffert. Enjoy the U.S. Open. Jeff, I see you out there in Chicago. Go White Sox. Talk to you soon. God bless.